The sky was burning. The clouds red with twisted fire. Lightning moving across them. And they descended upon everything. Like a furious battle between God and Satan, good and evil. Like a fire vortex.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to some more Season 8 SGL playoff action. My name is Luis from El Matador. Super excited for tonight's game. I won't be alone, luckily. It's always tough doing solo commentary. I am also joined by Palace of Los Verdes. What's up, Palace? What's going on, man?
I'm good. Y'all thought you could get rid of me, and you were right. I'm kidding. I'm back, baby. It's good to be here.
Yeah, and tonight we have such an important game. Obviously, last night we had the winners final in which El Matador qualified for the grand final.
Ooh.
And tonight we're gonna find out who they play. Tonight we have Black Army of LAFC. We have Timbers Army of the Portland Timbers. It's gonna be a banging matchup. And we also have on the side that we're gonna be tuning into every once in a while throughout the stream. We have the KC Cauldron taking on Emerald City Defiance. So two matchups here on the main stream, but of course the main matchup, the one that everybody's here for, is Black Army versus Timbers Army in the losers final. And so with that, we can go ahead and take a look at the current bracket. I think will give us a good picture of where we're at. Go ahead and switch on over to that. And so with the bracket here, folks, I mean, again, it's been a long playoff journey. We're almost to the end. We've got two more matches left, and of course tonight we'll be looking at that Timbers Army, Black Army. Timbers Army dropping down from the lowers. Palace, what do you feel about the series, man? What's kind of like your initial thoughts going into tonight?
My initial thoughts are that, on paper, Black Army should dominate realistically, but fuck the paper. Here's what I think. So really, anybody who has watched a second of these playoffs knows how good Timbers Army has been. This team has popped off like nobody's business. It's ignore the 4-1 scoreline against El Matador. That's not important, because right now EM's crushing everybody respectfully. But now this team is actually, I don't know what they did during that little break between the regular season and the postseason, but my God, this is a completely different team. And so, yeah, I'm excited for this one. I think, as you guys see in the winners round one, i.e. the very first round of the playoffs, we had that 4-3 between this team. And frankly, I'm expecting those same kind of fireworks again.
Yeah, like Timbers Army. I mean, you said on paper, like it's just this matchup just favors Black Army, and spoiler alert, I'm gonna pick them in my series prediction, but I think that like Timbers Army, as you guys clearly see, I mean they beat this Black Army team in the first round. They beat the 2 seed. They lost in a gentleman's sweep to EM, but all the games were 1-goal games. I think apart from game number 5, which was a blowout. But other than that, I think they've been really competitive, even in the one series they did lose yesterday. I will say though, having just played yesterday in a loss, like where's the mental? Because it's like Rocket League's like such a mental game, and so I'm interested to see Timbers Army, see how they bounce back from a loss. And Black Army is kind of on the opposite side. They had that first loss, and they went and beat the 1 and 2 seed in the lower bracket. So they're coming in on a high. Timbers Army just dealing with a loss, and so I'm really interested to see how both teams carry on the momentum from their previous matches. And I think one of the things that I'm just super curious about is what Black Army we get, because dude, Black Army, like sometimes you get like just a team that's like the best in the league, and then sometimes they're just laying an egg, and so that's going to be the big highlight for me in this series, Palace. I think if Black Army, if they play to the potential that we know that they can play at, I think they're gonna end up walking away with this, but you never know. And then Timbers Army, they have the sauce, they have like uh, they have just the playoff aura, and so that's just kind of what I'm looking at with this series.
Yeah, something that I always think back to in a situation like this, where we do have a team that has dropped down from the upper bracket at the very last round, I think of RLCS usually. Now, hear me out. Usually at this stage in RLCS, the team from the upper bracket, especially like on LAN, obviously this is not LAN, but like, let me cook. Usually the team that has dropped down from the upper bracket and has to play the lower final usually tends to lose, because that team from the lower bracket is on a high, whereas that team is on a low. They got to bounce back. But the key difference between this and that situation that I just mentioned is, number one, we are not RLCS level. Number two, this team has had a day to, really think about it, let it stew, and a day to reset the mental, go to work, get it off your mind, and then come back and get ready for this. So that's why I think, this could be something special from Timbers Army if they can bounce back like that.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, we don't play RLC as level Rocket League here in Nashio. We try our best.
Respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully, we are pretty shit at the game compared to those people. So, again, we try our best. Some teams are better than others, but yeah,
Yeah, like Los Verdes, the best team in the league. Am I right, chat?
yeah. I mean, Los Verdes. I mean, yeah, one of the best teams in the league, undoubtedly. You see them.
We're so good that we're out of contention because we want to give everybody else a chance.
I was gonna say I was looking for them in the current graphic on y'all's screen, but I couldn't really find them. But
yeah, we forfeited to give all these other good teams a chance because we knew that we would just sweep.
Again, good sportsmanship from the our resident Austin team. But that's the bracket. That's what we're looking at. Again, tonight we are going to be choosing. We're going to be watching to see who joins EM in the grand final. But on that note, we're going to go ahead and move on over to the consolation tournament table. See how things are looking over there. Admittedly, this is my first time looking at this graphic in about a week, so I am kind of curious what stands out to me. Initial thoughts from me, it's the top 2 teams that I thought were going to be in those top 2 spots, but we do have some games in hand for a couple of the teams, and obviously tonight's game, we do have one of those teams in, or wait, we have 2 of those teams, I think, playing. Sorry, I'm waffling. I'm so lost.
We got one match with 2 teams playing. Wait, is it? Or do we have 2 games?
We have 2 other games. Yes.
So we got 4 of these teams playing.
Yeah, my fault. I'm waffling here, chat. I do apologize.
Everybody, chat. Hey, boo this man. Boo.
I am being told confidentially through the grapevine that there are some
Grapevine,
scenarios
Texas?
that we're looking. Yes, Grapevine, Texas, home of the Mustangs. Okay, um, we're being told that if Steel Army and Cauldron both win tonight, they're in the grand finals. If EC Blue can only EC Blue can only have a chance if they beat Steel Army or Defiance beats Cauldron. EC Blue must win to realistically remain in contention. And then Defiance can get knocked out if Cauldron beat them and Steel Army don't get a sweep. So I hope you wrote that all down. I've already forgot what I just said. And so there's a lot of scenarios happening. Basically, if Steel Army and Cauldron both win, they're in. And then the other teams are going to be needing some help from Steel Army and the Cauldron in order to get into those top 2 spots. And so if you are good with math, this graphic is probably pretty self-evident. I'm a philosophy major, and so I read, and I hate numbers, and so I'm really bad at this, Palace.
It's okay. What if we put it into like an Immanuel Kant style paragraph where it just like circles back and forth 70 different times? Then I think you would understand it.
Yeah,
But
there's no syllogisms on the screen. I need like syllogistic form. I need prop logic. You know, other than that, I can't really handle it.
where's Nietzsche when we need him?
But yeah, what stands out to you, Palace? I mean, tonight's matchups. Like, what are you kind of looking at with those the 2 games tonight in the consolation tournament?
I think EC Blue and Steel Army is a closer matchup than people think it is. Yeah, that one is going to be real interesting. KC Cauldron, Defiance, a little bit of a David versus Goliath situation. But yeah, my eyes are really on that EC Blue Steel Army game because on their day, EC Blue can actually pop off. I say actually, that sounds really bad. That sounds like I'm not giving them their credit. No, on their day, this team can pop off and they can pull off some shots. So they're gonna have to do it today, though. It's do or die.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I think in previous broadcasts, I think I had talked about that like EC Blue and Steel Army were battling for that second spot, and I think, I mean, I guess Steel Army is the favorites, but it's probably 55-45. Like, EC Blue has had a tremendous season. Like, Huskies has been balling for their team. Christmas has been awesome, and so out of the 2 games, respectfully, again, no dissing KC or EC Defiance, but that game I think is going to be a banger to basically see who has control over that last spot for the championship.
Yeah, I think our resident admin Debit will be taking that game seriously because he knows the threat that team can pose. So yeah, he's got to watch out. The brothers from Steel Army have got to watch out.
Yeah, and I think EC Blue throughout the season they've had like really good results against really good teams. I know that they beat El Matador in 4 games. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure that they've had some really good series against like some other really top teams, and so I think Steel Army as well it fits in that category. They also beat El Matador amongst others, and you know they played some of those top teams really tough. So again, that's going to be the highlight game for the consolation tournament tonight in my eyes. And then who knows? Maybe if EC Defiance does win tonight, that would be like the upset of the season, playoffs or consolation tournament aside. I think that would be. I mean, you mentioned David and Goliath. Yeah, I mean, it would be Herculean effort from those guys to try to get that result done. But if they do, I'm kind of here for it. Okay, I'm throwing a little bit of shade of the Cauldron's way. I'm hoping for an EC Defiance win. Okay.
Heck yeah.
I just want to see it, bro. And then I think all chaos breaks loose if EC Defiance does somehow beat the Kansas City Cauldron, and so.
True, because that would mean that it would come down to the last matchup of the consolation tournament, which is the mighty KC Cauldron versus the even mightier Los Verdes.
Yeah, and could you imagine a scenario in which the KC Cauldron lose to EC Defiance and then Los Verdes? Like, that would be.
I'd never let Toronto hear the end of it.
Yeah, again, no shade to KC Cauldron, but I'm here for the chaos, and so they have to lose tonight. I do apologize. But that is your consolation tournament, guys. If you have any questions, drop them in chat. We'll try to get to them. Again, we appreciate everybody being here. But let's be honest, I think the majority of people here are here for the main event tonight, which is Black Army and Timbers Army. And again, we've spoken about some of the implications of the series. I mean, the most important one is you win, you're in the grand finals, and if you lose, you're done. And so, I I said my prediction was gonna be Black Army. I'll go ahead and put a number on it, Palace. I'm gonna go Black Army, and I'm gonna go Black Army in 5. I think that's
Oh.
I think that's brave. I think most people are gonna have this series go 6 or 7. But listen, this Black Army team, their hours are up. These guys are always on playing the game together, and yeah, I just think that they're gonna be a little bit too much for Rydog, Nelly, and Piglet. I think they've had a magical run and they've been tremendous. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with, Palace. I think Black Army's gonna get her done in 5 games.
You guys want to know my prediction?
No.
That was a yes or no question.
I think chat said no, so I think chat doesn't want you to.
Yeah,
have a prediction.
chat hates
Yeah.
me. They like when earlier I said, my name was said. I could feel the collective eye roll from Grapevine, Texas. But yeah, my prediction, if you guys want to know, is, see, Luis, you mentioned that they've had a magical run so far, and I agree with you. And for that reason, I don't think the magic's done. Give me Timbers Army in 7.
Timbers Army in 7. And if you remember, we pointed out earlier in the broadcast, they went to 7 with this exact team. And in that series, Timbers Army were losing 3-1 and ended up winning that series. And so Timbers Army, they like to do, they like to have these longer series. They had the 6 games against the locals. But then on the flip side, Black Army was just down against the locals 3-1, and they turned it around. And so there's a lot of just like little storylines like that with this series that I think just makes it so intriguing. Obviously, Black Army wants their revenge. Like, they feel like they let one slip in that first round, and then of course Timbers Army, they feel like they deserve to be in the finals as well, given the performance they had through the upper bracket. And so, okay, so you're gonna go in 7. Chat, we will get the predictions in the chat soon for you guys. I know a lot of people like to gamble in our Twitch chat, and so we will get that going for you shortly. I just want to shout to people in chat. Killazapo, welcome, bro. Good to see you. Debit, FDC_Palace, welcome to the stream. Ponzi, please, welcome. Serrano, welcome. I'm glad you just joined and didn't hear what we had to say earlier about your team. Yeah.
We said you stink.
we didn't say you stinked. We just said that.
We said you stink. Now stand behind it, Luis. Stand behind it.
You can stand on your behind. Okay, I'm gonna stand on my 2 feet, and I just want the KC Cauldron to lose tonight because it means chaos. It means that the Los Verdes versus KC Cauldron series will determine who is and who is not in the final. So lose tonight, and then you guys can go beat Los Verdes in the last game. You guys can do that, okay? That works for me.
Speaking of chaos, just as a reminder, actually, I don't know if we've explained this yet. Just as a reminder, even though y'all have not been reminded, these games will all be kicking off simultaneously. So, Luis, do you want to explain how this is going to work for this stream? With 3 simultaneous games at once.
Yeah, again, like Palace said, it's so hard not to call you David. Holy fuck. Like Palace said,
ooh, he cussed. No, I'm kidding.
All of these games will be taking place at the exact same time. I believe one of the other games, which I believe is the Steel Army EC Blue Series, will be taking place on the Cascadia RL channel, which hasn't been linked in the self-promo, I don't think, in the Discord, which is a shame. So if you are listening, Smashly or whoever's running that stream, throw that in the self-promo, so we can put it in chat if somebody has it.
Yeah, are we allowed to put links in chat?
So that will be taking place there, and then we will also have, of course, we're going to have Black Army Timbers Army on your screen right now, but we will also have the KC Cauldron and EC Defiance also on your screen, just going to be in a smaller version. And then also, and I'll keep saying also, we will have intermittent plugins, I guess, or we will go into that KC Cauldron ECD game intermittently throughout the broadcast. And so, of course, the main focus is Black Army, Timbers Army, but there's a lot of Rocket League going on right now, and so if you are an SGL fan, viewer, connoisseur, you have plenty of SGL action to partake in. So, did I do it correctly, Palace? Did I say the words right or no?
I'll be honest, I wasn't listening. I was typing in the chat, https://www.twitch.tv/CascadiaRL. So put that stream up side by side on this one. Whenever I start getting on some BS, you can mute this stream and then listen to Smashly. And I don't know who else is commentating. But yeah, we are about to get started here in a minute. Let me get in the lobby because I'm not even in the lobby.
Yeah, my co-commentator is currently not in the lobby, and then I'm also being informed that Steel Army AC Blue series will be taking place in exactly 16 to 15 minutes time. So at 9:45 Central, God, it's so weird saying Central now, being an East Coaster. At 9:45 Central, 10:45 Eastern Standard Time. What is that? 7:45 PT. We don't do Mountain West here on the broadcast. I do apologize.
Ooh, Mountain Time, best time. Ooh, Rams Niners on being streamed on Twitch right now.
And so,
all right. So if you guys want a triple stream, you can have us. You can have Cascade RL, and then you can have Rams Niners, which by the way is 6-6 in the fourth quarter, and we are gonna have more goals than that in the first game. I guarantee you.
Yeah, from your description, Palace, 6-6 in the fourth quarter seems like an absolutely terrible football game. So
yeah, we're gonna have more goals than that here in the first 5 minutes. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Stay here, folks. We had a bunch of SGL action, and actually, I mean, both teams are in the lobby. Are you in the lobby, sir?
I'm trying to find the credits.
Here, I will invite you to my party. I'll make it easier. All right.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because all I'm seeing is Constellation Tourney. So I'm not even seeing the.
Which stream for Timbers Army? Timbers Army versus Black Army will be right here on your twitch.tv experience. So right here,
yes, stay right here for that one.
And I think we are all ready to go. Both teams are in the lobby. I'm in the lobby. The only Mazar's in the lobby, and so is Palace. And so let's get this show on the road. I'm ready for this, Palace. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, me too. I'm very, very excited. It looks like... Wait, is anybody in the lobby? Yeah, it looks like we're all here.
Oh my goodness. You have a couple more seconds to get your predictions in. 50,000 on Black Army. No one's betting on Timbers Army, chat?
Yo.
What is going on, chat?
Chat. Get your money up.
And here we go, folks.
In the chat right here. We do not endorse gambling, by the way. But ain't no gambles left to be disputed right here. It's all left on the field. Timbers Army versus Black Army for the grand final. Do or die.
Yeah, it's do or die for both teams here, and so far a bit of a nervy start for both teams. It should be noted, Palace and chat, that both of these teams are West Coast teams, as Vex almost opens up the scoring, and so it should be good ping for both teams, which is been a bit of a discussion. Obviously, we have a bunch of teams from all over the country, and so we should have good ping for this game. But yeah, the lineups look pretty standard, Palace. This is kind of what I expected from both teams.
Yeah, I want y'all to know that my thing was flashing red as we got into the lobby. Red, just like Piglet's car, which, by the way, I love that decal. And he loves the shot as he takes it, but Isadora is there to save it. Piglet, oh my god, with the... But Vexamed is there to save the day.
Yeah, Vex with a tremendous save. I thought it was going to be a for sure goal as Vex is rocking, I believe, the BDS Fennec decal, which I'm actually a big fan of. And so
yes.
Some really good car designs in the lobby. I will say though, I really like the way that Timbers Army has started so far. Again, I think most people would pick Black Army to be their favorites, but they are really taking it to Black Army so far in these first minute.
Yeah, starting off with a little bit of misdirection, just like I was doing to people at soccer just now, which, by the way, is why I was late. Speaking of late, Nelly comes in late with the shot. Unfortunately, it is off the post, and Marcus will be able to clear to Isidore. Now, Isidore leaves it for Nelly, but Nelly is going to hit it straight back to him. And honestly, that was 100 IQ. But unfortunately, Nelly to Rydog. Rydog off the bar! And it's going to stay 0-0 for now. That is heartbreaking.
That was a tremendous team play from Timbers Army and Rydog with an open net with boost, and you really feel if you're Timbers Army, you have to score that. And so far, I mean, Timbers Army is peppering the Black Army net as it almost goes into the Black Army net. Vexamed flailing around on the goal line, it must be said. I mean, Timbers Army have started the way better team.
Absolutely, but let's not forget that Vexamed nearly had a breakaway goal right there, just shooting it from his own half of the field because there was no goalie, and Black Army from Vexamed yet again will take the early lead. That seems to be the approach so far because they've defended a lot, but they've taken their shots well.
Yeah, good slot from Vexamed. Most people think that he is Black Army's best player, and so if you are the best player in your team, it's always good to get that early confidence goal as he's going to get his second goal of the game. It's a kickoff goal. You really shouldn't be conceding these. We'll take another peek here. Piglet on the kickoff, and Vexamed's just faster. That BDS Fennec has a little bit of extra speed, and it's 2-0 to Black Army.
Yeah, you're not beating that guy. You got to cheat and then just hope he hits it straight into your car. You got to flip early. Now Vex up against Piglet. Wins the challenge.
I was just going to say, Palace, Timbers Army, they started off so well, and is this going to be the third? They started off so well, Palace, and they just conceded 2 goals that you really just can't be conceding if you're them. It's got to feel heartbreaking for them having that really good start to now be losing by 2 goals.
Yeah, but now is the chance to rebound. You got Rydog coming in, but Vex, once again, he's just everywhere. As always, Nelly with the shot off post. Timbers Army have been mere inches away on multiple occasions. Realistically, this game could be at least 3-2 right now, maybe even 3-3.
And this has to be a goal. It has to be a goal. Oh, and it almost was not a goal, but Rydog puts it in. And dude, Palace, that was literally, I mean, how many times are they going to hit the post and the crossbar? It has to go in for them.
They've hit the crossbar more times than the San Francisco 49ers have scored points in this game. I'll always take the chance to hate on the 49ers. I hate that team. But you know who I don't hate? I don't hate any of these players in these lobbies. And in fact, I love the way that all of them are playing right now. It's really just a slugfest right now. No holds barred, just fist to... I don't even know where I was trying to go with that. But I was trying to say bare knuckle boxing, and I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, and again, after they scored their first goal, they're still peppering the net. This has to be a goal, but again, a good defensive play from Isidore, really stifling the attack there for Timbers Army. But it must be said Timbers Army been playing really well, but they haven't really got that clinical precision that you would have liked from a team of Timbers Army's caliber. But this has to be a goal for Black Army. It's off the post. Isidore almost there to put it in, and man, they're just piling the pressure now.
And something that led to that opportunity right there was just a little bit of defensive chaos. You know, everybody getting in each other's way. You know, Rydog coming in when Piglet had the clear lined up, but hold up a minute. Rydog, is that in? It's off the post again!
Nah. There's a little bit of trolling going on in the lobby right now, and Vex as well.
That's just cursed.
Yeah. There's some Rocket League voodoo going on in the Black Army net. There's an impenetrable wall there. It's just there's not much to be said. We have 10 seconds-ish left. It needs to be now for Timbers Army. That ball needs to be on the other side of the field. Black Army just pinning them in, but this might be a chance, and I think that's just gonna do it, Palace. Black Army, they win a game in which their goal was peppered, but hey, they held on and they take the series lead.
Yeah, just It's a game of missed opportunities right here for Timbers Army. And now as we head over to the other game that's happening right now, we got, frankly, in what's not really a surprise, the KC Cauldron. Hold up a minute, because EC Defiance has just scored a goal straight in that top corner. But yeah, this isn't really a surprise what I'm seeing right now. Knows always knows with the yellow card. What's it called? Goal anthem, which I respect that. And I respect that goal right there. I respect that challenge. 30 seconds left, not really much else to do other than just go. So, shout out
Yeah,
to you. Hold up a minute. I thought that was
and
going to be 2.
yeah, that could have been 2 there. Unfortunately, Casey Cauldron weren't listening to when we said that we wanted them to lose. They're piling it on here, unfortunately, and it looks like they're going to end up getting this first game win. But to the feature match, Palace, I think that Timbers Army, they have to feel hard done by. They played a tremendous game and they just didn't get over the finish line. And so I wonder for game 2 here if the mental's just going to be shot. You hate to see that sometimes when the mental's just bad after a game. You should be winning.
It's a game of execution, and unfortunately, it wasn't up to par in that one. But it's a new game. It's a chance to redeem yourself. And Rydog starting early. They are. One thing that I really respect is that they did not let that get in their way of taking shots, because right now, once again, starting out with just 2 immediate shots in the first 5 seconds, but Martes up in the air, Nelly, wary of that danger of the double tap and is able to get it out, but only as far as Isidore.
Yeah, and Isidore, I highlighted him on the broadcast where they beat the locals. He was tremendous in that series. Killazapo on Twitch, he's been tremendous. He's been streaming a lot. His hours were up, and he's been, for me, one of the most impressive players, not only on Black Army, but just in the playoffs in general. And so, so far, he's having a really good start to this series for Black Army.
See, now as the ball bounces back in the middle, who's going to be the first to it? It's always going to be Vexman. Why was that even a question? Unfortunately for him, the shot goes off the bar, and the ball will fly, hang in the middle for a second, but only to be collected by him to send it over to Piglet, who will give it back to Isidore. Right now, it's a little bit of a game of kickball, but eventually something's got to give. Right now, it ain't going to be Nelly, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Nelly, one of the most impressive players, respectively, for his team. And so far in this game, apart from that early flurry at the beginning, Palace, I think Black Army is starting to settle and get into the groove that we know that they can play in. And so way better performance, a minute 30 in for Black Army. They're just really controlling the ball a lot better than they did in that initial game. As we see a crucial bump there. And Vexamed on an aerial is one of the most frightening players in SPL, and so a good bump there to get him off the ball.
Yeah, right now, I almost said LAFC, but no, I can say LAFC.
You can say LAFC, yeah.
Yeah. Right now, LAFC starting to cheat up just a little bit more and take that offensive space, really start to challenge more around the midfield line, get comfortable. And that's not something you want if you're Timbers Army, because right now they cannot get out of their own half of the field.
Yeah, and this is kind of the Black Army that I expected going into the series. That game 1, sometimes game 1s in series are just kind of hard to tell. As you see, what a read by Martes, by the way. Tremendous read by him to, I think the ball was going a little bit high, but just a tremendous read in general from him. And yeah, sometimes game 1s are just like super unpredictable. There's a bunch of nerves, and your mechanics might not be up to par. And so I'm liking Black Army's response to a lackluster game, even though they won it, just to their standards. Wasn't what they really expected.
Chat, speaking of Martes right there, who's just got another save, I got 2 names for him. 2 nicknames, and I need y'all to rate this for me. Okay, my first name for him, so Martes obviously means Tuesday in Spanish, and I was thinking about food because I'm hungry. So I was thinking, what about Ruby Tuesday, like the restaurant? What a save, by the way, from Nelly. But is he going to be able to get back to it? Yes, he is! Double save! But Vex just slightly off target, and now Rydog with the opportunity, but unfortunately can't connect with that second touch on the ball, and the chance fizzles out on the counter. But speaking of Martes, back again. So we have Ruby Tuesday, and Isidore, let me cook, bro. I don't want you to be cooking. I want to be cooking right now. But Isidore right now with a beautiful shot, just over the back of Piglet to give Black Army, frankly, a deserved lead.
Yeah, I mean, but Black Army's been the better team in this game, like undoubtedly. That they're back to the performance that I expected going in. And Isidore, again, I highlighted him as kind of my player this postseason. He's been, for me, arguably Black Army's best player. There's a lot of people that could go to, but this could be it. Rydog, Vexament, no, he should be there. This has to be a goal. Oh, and it's just wide. These are the chances. If you're Timbers Army, you have to be taking them against a team of the quality of Black Army. But yeah, Kilizapo, Isidore, he's been balling, and I think again, you said a deserved lead, and I think I agree with you, pal. It's a deserved lead so far.
A shocking display of finishing at the other end leads to a goal for Isidore. And speaking of shocking, right here, by the way, first off, Vex, I know he missed that flip reset, and I'm not gonna let you get away with that. I know you wanted that. Anyways, what I'm being told is that EC Defiance has taken a lead over the KC Cauldron.
Yeah, that would be a massive upset if it ends up finalizing there. But just in general, Palace, I think this is this is Black Army at their best. Good counterattacks. They were passing the ball to one another. Black Army, if they're passing the ball to one another, as we see it, oh my God, Vex stopping what should have been almost a first sure goal for Timbers Army. But look at these passing plays out of Black Army. This is Black Army at their best, 3-0, and this is basically game, set, match for game number 2. And again, just amazing team play. And yeah, 3-0, and it's all deserved.
Absolutely. So, speaking of cooking, which Black Army's doing right now, y'all gotta let me cook like they do at Ruby Tuesday. Anyways, his other nickname, and I want y'all to rate this, is MS13. Now hear me out.
What is bro cooking?
Martes Meth. Martes starts with an M, and it ends with S, but like ES, so like El Salvador. And where's MS13 from? El Salvador. And he's got a 13 at the end of his name. Am I cooking, chat?
Chat, everybody type 1 in chat if you think David needs to stop cooking, okay? He needs to.
Thank you, young chat. Thank you.
Hell no.
Appreciate you.
See, Saikugo.
What do you mean, Saikugo?
Saikugo has it down. I agree.
That's so sick. The kitchen is on fire. I thank you, bro. Thank you. Speaking of, by the way, EC Defiance still has a lead, as you can see on your screen right now. And Knows Always Knows, there to make it 3-1. Let's go. Upset on the cards, potentially.
Yeah, this would be a massive result. I mean, this would be a massive result if it holds for EC Defiance. And Chad, I appreciate you guys acknowledging just how bad Palace's cooking has been.
That was sick. Someone said I'm burning down the kitchen with all this fire I'm spitting out, baby. And that's a 4th. Speaking of fire, EC Defiance is on fire, just like the kitchen at Ruby Tuesday and the meth lab from MS13. They are cooking, baby.
Yeah, and we're being informed I apologize. We have the kitchen is completely burnt down now. It's totally burned down.
Yeah, it is, baby.
It's burnt down in the wrong way. The restaurant is now closed.
Burned down the right way.
What is also being said is that Timbers Army did take a timeout. They're down 2-0 in the series. I think a timeout's good here. Typically, I advise. I always like timeouts before you're on match point. Typically, people call timeouts on match point, but it's match point. Like what more needs to be said at that point? And so timeout for Timbers Army here. And honestly, I think if they just a little bit more clinical, they're gonna be fine. Some double commits as well, Palace from Timbers Army, and I think game number 2. And so, yeah, what are you seeing with Timbers Army? How could Timbers Army get back in the series?
Before I answer that, I want to acknowledge Yef scoring a goal right here. Speaking of clinical, that dude is always right there. He's always there every single time. So KC Cauldron has got a little bit of life here. Let's see if they can build on that momentum or if EC Defiance is going to take their first game of the series. But as of how they can get back into this game, I think they still need to be aggressive. But the problem is, it's really difficult to do that when Black Army is passing all over you right there. You got to cut it off at the source. And another thing is when they get those chances, you have to finish them. You don't have a choice at this point. You're down 2, and you've got to finish.
Yeah, and I mean, against a team of Black Army's caliber, you just can't. You can't be wasting opportunities because Black Army, they're really clinical. They have like really good mechanical players that are going to be taking those chances. And speaking about a chance, almost a chance there for Timbers Army, a double commit out of Black Army there. And so far, I'm liking the start for Timbers Army. Good ball possession in the offensive third. Nelly with a bit of a mechanical touch there, I'm really liking. But yeah, I'm liking the aggression here from Timbers Army. This game, I think it's a must-win game for Timbers Army. I don't know how you feel about this, Palos, but
Absolutely.
I feel like it has to be. If you go down 3-0 to Black Army, I know they came back from a 3-1, but 3-0, that might be a tall task.
I mean, even 3-1 was already a tall task, but that might be, a monolithic. But Piglet worried the danger, but Isidore right there, able to get it over Nelly. Is it going to fall into the net?
What in the world?
Oh, for Piglet! Right on, had it, because Vex was missing that ball, by the way. No, mark that, sorry. He was missing that.
Oh,
and so he tried to hit it just a little too early, and that's unfortunate.
I think I agree with you. I think if Piglet leaves that there, I think Rydog is getting back to that. Just some uncharacteristic plays out of both teams. Martez also missing a goal that you would expect somebody of Martez's caliber to be hitting, but it's done. It's 1-0 to Black Army, and just again, just a bad momentum here for Timbers Army. It just feels like everything's going against them, and in Black Army, they're starting to heat up, man. If Black Army starts to heat up, like, this could get pretty ugly for Timbers Army, and so the next goal is going to be so crucial if they want to get back in the game.
Once again, it's a breakdown of communication that leads to the goal for Timbers Army, because it's really what it is. It's just people not calling each other off the ball, or if somebody calls it, they hear it just a little bit too late, or it doesn't process. Just like, I'll be honest, I do that a lot, and if I say I do something, I don't think you want to be doing that.
Yeah, and we saw a good offensive play there. Just a bit of an errant shot on the center ball, and it just kind of feels typical of what we've seen so far with Timbers Army, as we see Vexamed, BBS Fennec just sniped the top right corner. This has kind of been the difference in the series. Nelly whiffs the ball, and Vexamed is just clinical. Black Army has just been more clinical in these first 3 games, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Have a hit, laddie. My fault. Sorry, I wanted to do a Scottish accent on the thing. I need Mr. Ruby Tuesday to start cooking, man. But speaking of cooking, Piglet with the shot, but again, it's just snuffed out at the source, like I said that Timbers Army needed to do. Ooh. And there we go. A demo prevents Vex from getting to that ball, and Nelly snipes that top corner from frankly about 5 yards out. But still, it's a snipe because Martez couldn't get there in time. That's a lifeline with 2.5 to go.
I'll be honest, chat, Palace stream, when Nelly had the shot there, I thought that, given the accuracy of Timbers Army shooting, I feared for the worst there. Yeah, I feared for the worst there, as Vexamed almost had a really good mechanical play there. But a lifeline for Timbers Army. They're down 1 goal. This is a must-win game for them. As we see Isidore continue to cook, he's been tremendous. But yeah, this has to be the Timbers Army game if they want to have any chance of making the grand finals of Season 8 of SGO.
And the ball floats into the middle. Who's going to be the first to it? Is Martez. Isidore gets the demo on Piglet, and now this is a dangerous situation yet again. Martez, 1v3 in the corner. Rydog will take that. Vex over to Piglet. And I'm hearing goal sounds from the other game, but forget about that for now because Nelly is on the ball, and you do not want to leave that man alone on the ball for too long. Martez spots even just the slightest modicum of danger and is there to root that out. 2 go for Timbers Army. And that's not what you need right now. You need someone to be chasing that ball because otherwise it's just going to fall straight back and you give him space to start cooking again.
Yeah, Nelly's center ball. Rydog is there and he just kind of gets 50 to good defense out of Black Army. I'm just really curious. This is an open net. Piglet! He snipes it. Is Vex in that there? He is there. What a save from Vex, saving his team here. And it just feels like they just have a bit of an aura about their defense. And Vex down the other end,
What
Nelly.
a save.
A tremendous save. Oh,
Yes, right on.
both ends are being peppered, and right now the defenses are really holding up.
My fault. Anyways, Nelly. Now it's a
1v1.
1v1 with Isidore. What's he gonna do? He goes low, and that's gonna be a second for Timbers Army. We're tied. 45 seconds left.
Yeah, I gotta see this here. Isidore gets faked out a little bit here. Man, I feel
That's
like
beautiful from Nelly.
yeah, it's great from Nelly, but I almost just prefer to stay on the ground there. If Nelly, if he flicks you, he deserves it. It's kind of one of those areas there. I wish he would have stayed on the ground, but if you're Timbers Army, you don't care. It's a 2-2 game. After being down 2-0, it's a tremendous response from Timbers Army. Let's see what they have in store here. 35 seconds left. It's really anybody's game.
I don't even think that was bad defense from Isidore either. If he just waits literally 0.1 of a second left, like, and then jumps just a slight, like literally 0.1 second later, he saves that. But Vex on the ball, Nelly, not having any of it. Vex tried to fake, but Piglet, wary of it. Oh, wanted the pass to Nelly, but Nelly was mid-flip and couldn't adjust to it. Now, 10 seconds left. Isidore leaves the ball in the middle for Piglet. I'm not sure that's something you want to do. Vex over to the wall. Nelly puts the ball back in the middle, but Isidore. Will they drop it, or will they go for... I think they're going to drop... No! He's going to keep it... Aww. I was about to say, go for it, Piglet, but we got overtime. And realistically, if Timbers Army don't score here, I feel like this series might be over.
Yeah, this is a massive overtime. This is basically grand finalist point for Timbers Army. They need this game, or they're going to have to reverse sweep. And I honestly do not remember a reverse sweep happening in many seasons. Right on. He can't save it, and Martez finishes it. Black Army are on quadruple match point, up 3-0.
Sometimes you just gotta monkey it in the middle, and that's exactly... I don't even know who scored that goal, but that's exactly what he did. That was going in, Shorts. The angle looked weird, but it was going in.
Yeah, and you kind of just have to feel for Timbers Army here. Black Army, I don't think they're playing their best Rocket League, but this is one of the things with Black Army is they have just such good players that they capitalize on these mistakes out of Timbers Army, and I just would like to see Timbers Army be a little bit more clinical. They've had their chances, but Black Army with the ice, with the aura, and yeah, they're up 3-0 as we tune into the other game going on. It's a one-way street here. KC all over EC Defiance, but yeah, Black Army, they're up 3-0. They are one game away from making the grand finals of Season 8 of SGL and meeting El Matador from the lower bracket.
We do not care. No.
I'm
being told in chat, and from exclusive sources, sources that you wouldn't believe, in the words of Rodolfo Borrell, that it was Ruby Tuesday who scored that goal. Mr. MS13 himself, but the good MS13. So shout out to my guy right there. Shout out to Martez. And frankly, I would say it's hard to pick to be honest, it is kind of hard to pick who's been the MVP, which I'm sorry to EC Defiance and KC Cauldron. I'm sorry we're not giving y'all due respect and love while you guys are playing. But yeah, it's been kind of difficult to pick who has been the MVP so far, because one would think it would be Vex, but speaking of right there, he's making a case for himself. But every single one of these players has been so involved. Isidore scoring a bunch of goals in that last game. He scored the first two. Martez scoring the third. Martez also getting on the score sheet, getting involved defensively. Every single one of these players has been doing their part on both sides of the ball. So for me, it's difficult to pick an MVP so far. But right now, Vex making a case for himself, getting on the score sheet early. And now he wants a second, but unfortunately the shot is not going to be up to his regular standards, and Piglet will deal with it, but not well enough.
I will say, I think you were talking about MVPs so far in this series, and I think one of the things historically with Black Army is you see a center ball from Piglet to Nelly, and they're right back in the game. Tremendous center ball. I just want to highlight, I think Black Army have been playing like a team. I think early on in the season, they had a bunch of individual performances from Vex or Martez, but man, their team synergy. I remember at the beginning of Season 8, they were double committing all over the place, but they've played with each other so much now that you can just tell they have a lot more team synergy, and it's really fun to watch a team of their caliber kind of build that team chem as we head even later into the SGL Season 8 season. And so, yeah, it's hard to pick. I agree with you on an MVP so far.
It was, at the beginning of the season, more of a battle of egos because you got someone like Vex coming in who owns the field when he plays most of the time. And so, you know, having to adjust to that kind of playstyle for somebody like Isador and like Saikugo, who had previously been like the forerunners of this team, is really difficult. But they've really clicked, and I mean they were, forgive me, were they the 2 seed? Or
they ended up being the 3rd seed, but they were like 1 or 2 throughout the entire season. It felt like they were right there.
It was literally them in locals for the entire season, and there's a reason for that. Just outclassing everybody. But right now, they are locked in a dogfight. Truthfully, you know, the scoreline on the series looks bad, but really, I think that's been deceiving. Timbers Army have had their chances, and they have, at a lot of points in the series, they have been the better team, but the execution has just not been there. Right now, oh my god, that's a weird one. Vex, Nelly.
Oh, that's a big goal. Oh, please. This has to be a goal.
Thank you, Rydog. 2-1 Timbers Army.
Yeah, I hate to be a little bit biased here. I picked Black Army in this series, but just for Timbers Army's mental, if they were missing another open net, I think it might have been GG's and uninstalling there. So 2-1 to Timbers Army. They finally score an open net. Kudos to them. And Nelly tries to add a third, but yeah, I mean, you mentioned the run of play, and I think in Game 1, I think Timbers Army was clearly the better team. I think in Game 2, Black Army was 100% the better team, and then Game 3, it went to OT, and it really could have been anybody's game, and so it is a 3-0 series, like you said, but the 3-0 scoreline's a bit deceiving.
Yeah, there were points in that last game where both teams were the better team out of the two, and so we got to see, because right now, execution, you know, it took a couple tries, and usually Black Army are not going to give you that many tries, but they went. Hold up a minute, is that going in? Yes, it is. Rydog straight off the ceiling. 3-1. There's a little bit of a cushion now.
Yeah, that was a tremendous intercept from Rydog. No respect on Vex. Maybe he knew that Vex had no boost there and just takes it up the wall, off the ceiling, and in. And a 2-goal lead here in again, a must-win game. This is their season on the line. They have to reverse sweep here. And who knows, if Timbers Army can win this game, maybe the memories of round 1 where Black Army blew a 3-1 lead start to creep in and start to kind of get in the mental. But again, this game is far from over, but so far a good game number 4 out of Timbers Army.
I would like to point out that I did predict Timbers Army in 7. If my prediction is to come true, if the Timbers Army do want to win this, you know, then that would make me right. And so I think that's, I'll be honest, I think that's a little bit of a demotivator. But I would love it if they would prove me right. But Vex is going to make it 2-3 with 1:22 left to go. And now this is gonna get chippy.
Yeah, and if you're Nelly there, your last back full boost, if you're gonna go for that, it has to be a 50, and Martez just ends up getting the dunk there, and Vex, with the easiest goal he'll score in his Rocket League career. It's a 1-goal game here. Good response from Black Army after being outplayed most of this game. What a center ball. This has to be a goal. What a pass from Piglet. Rydog finally found the shooting boost. After the first 3 games of the series. It's been kind of rough for Timbers Army in the shooting department, but not in game number 4. They restore their 2-goal lead.
That is exquisite right there. I love that word, chat. I love that word. I love that shot. I love that pass. I love that kickoff. I love this game, man.
Yeah, and again, you wonder with Rocket League just being a game of momentum. Oh, we're seeing whiffs now out of Black Army here. You wonder just Rocket League being a game of momentums. If who knows if Timbers Army can get a game here, maybe things start to tilt in their favor. And just gonna be really curious to see how this final 40 seconds goes. If Timbers Army can actually close it out here. Does Black Army call a timeout here? I mean, stop any momentum before it starts, maybe, or they're gonna hold that for maybe like a game 6 or a game 7.
Yeah, I'd hold it for a game 6 if I were them, because like this team's still confident. They're still going for it. It's not like they're completely like mentally drained after going down 4-2 in one game. But I think if we're in the same situation after this next game, because I think this one is pretty safe, unless, you know, barring the biggest miracle in SGL history, I think this one's pretty safe, and that's going to do it right there. We are headed to a game 5, but yeah, I think you wait, because you're still confident in yourself if you are the team, like if you are Black Army. Isidore with the goal for the road right there, but man, Timbers Army, you know, finally reaping the rewards of their offensive, you know, what's it called? Offensive endeavors. And speaking of reaping the rewards of offensive endeavors, the KC Cauldron have won the last 2 games by, well, right now they're up 6-0, and if this scoreline holds, then they will have won the last 2 games by a combined 12. And so, yeah, that team is cooking. But hey, shout out to EC Defiance for getting a game, because that is no easy feat against this team. Hey, Los Verdes couldn't even do it, and we're the best team in the league. So, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean honestly, like all memes aside, it's a tremendous accomplishment for them to get one game against I think easily the best team in that consolation tournament. So kudos to them. And
Thornhill's playing backwards. This dude is playing backwards.
Yeah, that's
he's playing like Normac 2K3. I ain't never seen anything like that since the days of Azure Lane.
And I don't even know if Cam's in chat to defend himself.
He's not, and thank goodness he isn't, because I would roast the heck out of him. Speaking of roasting right now, if Ruby Tuesday can get back in the kitchen and continue cooking like he was in those first games, then I don't think Black Army should have a problem winning this game. But the thing is, you know, it's a well-oiled machine. You gotta have all the parts working. But that's what I would normally say.
Ooh.
But the thing is, all the players on this team are so good individually. Like right there from Vex, if somebody else makes a mistake, somebody else is gonna be there. So frankly, this team is so good, you don't even need a well-oiled machine. You just need to execute.
Yeah, that was a tremendous save on the first shot of game number 5. Really an important save there. You feel like if Nelly scores the opening goal of game 5 so early on, maybe things start to get a little worrisome, but so far, really good defense out of Black Army, and what a touch by Vex. A double to himself, almost gets the dunk there. That would have been a tremendous highlight goal from Vex. As we see a whip on the goal line, it's not going to come to anything for Black Army, but Rydog, was that open? From my angle, it's tough to tell. That could have been the opening goal for Timbers Army, but so far, I think it's a pretty even game so far.
I just want to shout out Kiwi right now. From first off, Ruby Tuesday's back in the kitchen, everybody, cooking up some chicken tenders and cooking up some goals for Black Army. Isidore, right there, all he had to do was intimidate Piglet, who was on 0 boost. So, respect to him. Shout out the barbecue chicken. Shout out the chicken tenders. I don't even know what they serve at Ruby Tuesdays. Is it kind of like Luby's, basically?
I always thought Ruby Tuesdays was like a quote-unquote high-class Chili's. I forgot. I don't remember. But speaking about cooking, Black Army, they're doing their Black Army stuff, and Isidore again with the assist in the first goal, and Vexamed's going to get the second. Black Army, they're really playing up to their standards now. That game 4 was a bit of a fluke for them, and they're up 2-0, and I think they're pretty good on the 2-0 lead here.
MS13 with the pass to MVEX13. This is beautiful stuff right here from Black Army. I know Luis hates my ass for that one. I can hear this dude telling me to do something that I can't say on stream.
And
Nelly?
speaking about, oh no.
Bar again!
Again, I think that has just summarized a lot of the play out of Timbers Army. They just keep hitting the posts and the crossbar, and just, you have to score. At this level of the SGL season, those shots have to be on target at the very minimum. And so you have to wonder if the mental starts to go here after so many missed opportunities. What a flick by Isidore, by the way. He's been tremendous for me this series, one of the better players so far in this series. And yeah, right now, Black Army, I think they're feeling comfortable. The ball's on the other end of the field. They're getting some offensive plays in, and Timbers Army really are in loads of hurt here.
Yeah, it was a good idea on the other end, but unfortunately Rybread was out of boost and not able to go for that. But great pass in from Rye. Now Piglet unable to, frankly, a toothless shot right there. Now Marthes is going to beat one, but he's not going to beat Piglet. Nelly's stealing the boost in the back, but Vex able to, what's he got cooking right here? Just a straight shot, and Nelly able to clear over to Rydog, who's going to put it in the air. It's an aerial battle, won by, what do I even call him at this point? Is
his name? His name would be a good starting point, I think, for calling a play.
Nah, that's boring. No, I don't do names in here.
I will say though, listen, I predicted Black Army in 5. I thought it was a bit of a bold prediction maybe for some, but this is what I expected. Black Army suffocating.
I'm never going to hear the end of it if this dude is right. Please, Timbers Army, wake up.
Yeah, I just thought going in, I thought 5 games was going to be what Black Army needed. In fact, the icing on the cake, Black Army, barring a tremendous comeback here in game number 5, will be the second grand finalist in Season 8 of SGL. Vexamed.
We still got 86 seconds left. Hold up a minute.
I said barring a dramatic comeback.
I didn't hear that.
Barring a dramatic comeback.
I was going to say, don't disrespect your co-commentator like that. Right on. Hey. Not me. I stink. But you know who doesn't stink? Marthes, aka Ruby Tuesday, aka MS13, with the way he's terrorizing this Timbers Army defense. Boom! Another one.
Yeah, and Marthes he's been tremendous all season long. He's had really good mechanical plays, and overall, I can't say enough good things about the improvement. As we see Nelly, he's going to get a goal back here. 3-goal deficit with about 69 seconds left in the game, and I think Black Army have just leveled up, man. They've been tremendous. They had the round 1 again, sad defeat to this same Timbers Army team, but Black Army, I want to give them all the credit here. They've been tremendous, and it's really been a team effort. Again, Vex obviously the highlight mechanical player, but Rydog gets the second goal.
2 goals in 10 seconds. You are right about that. This one is not over. Please, Timbers Army, I do not want to hear this dude yap about how he was right for the remainder of the stream. So please, help me out here. Y'all got 1 minute. Let's go. Rydog taking it off his own corner. Wants to pass it to Nelly, and the side flip, the back flip. Luckily, Piglet was there to clean that one up. Nelly going to beat Vex to that one. Rydog with the shot. Isidore able to clear it to the corner, and now a little bit of, I don't want to say nervy moments, but, you know, they're forcing Black Army to think, to hunker down a little bit. But that's all they got to do. Just hunker down. 30 more seconds until my life is forever ruined by the Yap Fest, and yeah, unless, what do you have here? What a save, Isidore!
Isidore. Again, Isidore has been tremendous, and that might have been the save that saved them here in game number 5. It has to be a goal now for Timbers Army. Our Black Army are going to the grand finals. Piglet to Rydog, no boost. And that is going to do it, folks. Black Army are your second Season 8 grand finalists. Congratulations to them. Wow, what a series from them. They really, really are deserving of being a grand finalist here in Season 8. Kudos to them.
Absolutely. And shout out to them.
And I was right.
for that.
I was right. Black Army in 5 games. I was
This
right.
guy stinks.
I was right.
This guy smells. I smell as well, but I smell good like the Ruby Tuesday kitchen. So speaking of, what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna ask Luis a question. Now getting a look at this team, you know, this is the team you're about to play for the chip. How are you feeling? What are your initial thoughts on how you're gonna attack that team? Because they put on a clinic out there, and no disrespect to Timbers Army. In fact, I want to give that team their flowers because right now, you know, that was a good performance. The problem is you can't just be good against Black Army. You got to be great. And so huge shouts to them, but unfortunately they just weren't clinical enough. But Luis, back to my question. Yeah, how are you going to attack that team?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the matchup now is Matador versus Black Army in the finals. I think it's gonna be a cracking finals. But before I do answer your question, David, I just want to give commiserations to Timbers Army. They had just a tremendous season. They snuck their way into that last spot in the playoffs in dramatic fashion. They had some massive upsets in this playoff run, and they made it into the top 3. And I think they finished Season 8 as your third place team. So congratulations to Timbers Army on their season. They played really good ball from the end of the season and into the playoffs. And I think for them, and hopefully we get some interviews from some of their guys, that game number 1, they have to be scratching themselves, because that was the game where they peppered the goal and they couldn't find the net. And so congratulations Timbers Army on the season. Obviously it comes to an end tonight, but yeah, the season was just overall, I was really impressed with just the bounce back they had from that early season slump.
When you said scratching, I really thought you were going to say something else. Now, huge shout out to that team. I mean, again, just massive respect to go out and make the waves that you did in this playoff run. That is something that takes heart, and that's something that takes skill to take down the teams that you did take down. So huge shouts to you. Black Army, they got their lick back.
They got their lick back indeed, and I think we're going to be joined by one of their players. Isidore Kilizapo on Twitch is going to be joining us here in the booth shortly.
Before we do that, I do have a report. I'm getting word that Steel Arm... We do not care. Anyways, now it's time to interview Isidore. Hopefully, if he's
Bring him in. Drag him in.
Isidore.
Yo.
What's good?
Yo, man. Hey, listen, just before we start the interview, thank you. I predicted you guys in 5 games, so I appreciate you doing that. Made me look smart, but yeah, bro. You guys are grand finalists. Talk to me, man. How's the team feeling?
Honestly, we're feeling great, man. After we got knocked out by Timbers Army in the first round, I think that's when we all actually locked in and we all started playing as a team.
I mean, yeah, y'all are locked in. Y'all in that first game were getting peppered. I mean, absolutely just like bombarded in the net, but y'all didn't crack. You know, after y'all made it through those first couple scares, you know, what were y'all feeling like?
Honestly, I actually told him, I said, hey, if we lose the first game, don't let it get to us, because usually we start off a little slow. It takes us 1 or 2 games to actually get really comfortable. But for us to be saving those kind of goals first game, I already knew we were going to get locked in.
Yeah, I think one of the things with you guys, I think I've noticed that in series where you guys like start off slow. I think in the ECRC series where y'all lost like the first 2 games and then y'all won like 4 straight to win the series, and so yeah, I think you guys have like really good bounce back performances so far. But yeah, again, you guys are grand finalists. Did you guys expect to be here? What are your initial thoughts on the matchup against EM? Yeah, how are y'all looking forward to that series?
Honestly, we're getting prepared for you guys. To be honest, we've seen how you guys play. I honestly think you guys are probably one of the best teams in this league, and we just have to get on and play a little more as a team. I think if we play as a team a lot better than we've been playing the last 3 weeks, I think we could be able to get you guys. But we're not putting our guards down against you guys for sure, because we know what you guys could do.
Let
Yeah.
him know.
No,
Talk your talk.
I just want to say one more thing for me, Palace, and then you can go. But no glaze, but I think that you've been way better, Isidore. Kill Zapo on Twitch, by the way. I think you've been way better recently than you. I guess you were playing at the start of the season, in my opinion. Like you've like leveled up a bit. Are you like playing more? Just grinding more, or like what's the deal with that? Because you've been playing really good.
I play Rocket League at least like 2 times a week, maybe 3. But I don't know if you guys remember. You guys interviewed me like I think 2 months ago, and I said I was changing my combinations. So I went to Vex's combinations, and I said I'm gonna be pretty trash, but towards the end I should be good. So it took me a while to adjust, but now I'm comfortable with what I got on my fingers. So that's mainly what it is, because I've always been a smart player.
Heck yeah. We love to see that. I love when people change the controls and it changes everything. So I think Isidore, you watch Blue Lock?
I do not, bro.
Dang.
Do not.
I was gonna say it's that last little puzzle piece that connects everything, and all of a sudden, boom. It's
Dude,
a completely different team, completely different game.
Yeah, I was struggling for a while, especially that I don't like to like get on and just train. I don't know why. I don't have that type of like momentum or anything for myself. But it did take 2 months to get used to those controls. Thanks to Vex for helping me out on those. And but I think I'm locked for this last final tournament or this last final round.
I actually have one more question because like I think early on, y'all were. I don't mean to be rude, but I think y'all were like a lot of individual players early in the season. But now like there's like no double commits. Y'all are passing the ball to each other. Is that just like playing more together? Like what changed? Because like now y'all are like a team. Because like we were talking in commentary like who's the MVP of the series, but like y'all play like a team, so it's like hard to pick one person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So a lot in the beginning of the league. In all honesty, in the beginning of the league, we were all individual players, and you're right. And I think that's the only reason why we lost a couple of those games. But individual players, as we are really good. As a team, we're really bad. So I forgot. I'm not too sure what round it was that we lost. That actually, I had to pretty much put my feet down on my friends and tell them, all right, look, I know what we're doing wrong, and we got to change some bit because. You got Vex who's just cracked, so he wants to go for everything. It's like, hey, you gotta defend more. Then you got Kron who's always defending, and I know he's cracked, so we gotta put him up more. So we just had to play together as a team more. Even we've been playing some rank too, and we've been low key just building some chem with each other. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the last 3 weeks is probably the best you guys ever seen us, but it's only gonna get better from that. If anything, we are really prepared for this next matchup, but for sure we are really prepared for next SGL season.
Let's go. I love to hear that. Y'all are not going to want to miss this final. Date and time TBD, but y'all better be here for that. If you're not here, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to whoop your ass respectfully.
Oh wait, before we let you go here, Palace was like burning the kitchen, right? Like, did you hear the shit he was saying?
I did, bro.
No,
I was laughing mid game.
Let's go.
I was like, this guy might just be onto something.
Let's go.
Hell nah. Hell nah. And dude, nah.
It's crazy.
Right.
No, it makes sense because they were locked in like a prisoner.
I'm not gonna lie,
prison right now. MS-13, baby.
Yo.
They locked in. Let's go.
I'm not gonna lie though. Martis was getting a little upset with you because you were calling him Ruby. He's like, why is he calling me Ruby though?
Oh, Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah,
Like
and
the
he was
restaurant.
he was kind of upset with that, but if anything, it helped him just lock in even more. Because when he's mad, it's over for the game.
Let's go. See, that's good because now I thought it was gonna be the other way around. I was like, MS13 was the one that I was like, should I even say this? But the fact that now I can get rid of that trash ass Ruby Tuesday name is perfect. So thank you for that. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the way you play. I don't appreciate it when you guys whoop my team's ass, but I do appreciate you guys as people, and I'm very, very excited.
I appreciate that myself as well, and you guys are the best in the league. Like you said, you guys just don't show it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of showing it, I want you to shout out whoever you want to shout out right now. It's your time.
I want to shout out all the fans in the chat that have been rooting for us, man. Because honestly, the league's been against us since we hit losers finals, and we're not going out that way. So for us to like lose the first couple games and then just reverse sweep almost this whole entire loser finals, and then just to make it a finals, it's like props to my team as well. Like they've been getting on. We've been trying to get better. Like I know we're all ball chasers, but sometimes you just gotta relax on the back and figure out what's going on, you know. So that's literally why we're in finals right now, and I think we deserve it. If we do win this, it'd be insane. But I do promise you, we are preparing ourselves for this next match. But I just wanna shout out everyone that supports us, especially Saikugo, man. Guy has words of wisdom.
Heck
Hell yeah, man.
Shout out to Iswald Pennyworth. We appreciate you.
But yeah, we appreciate you joining us, Isidore. Again, Killazapo on Twitch. He was in the chat there. Go make sure you go follow him. You do stream quite a bit, so I'll be trying to tune in as much as I can. But
I see, bro. I appreciate it a lot.
But yeah, man, appreciate you joining us, and yeah, we look forward to seeing Black Army grand finalist in season 8.
Nope, it's time. I think we just got our points into that match. Good luck to you guys, man. I know it's gonna be a matchup for sure. You guys know how we play. We know how you guys play, but let's see how it goes, man. I'm excited for it. And you guys all have a good night.
Man. I'm excited for it too. Sorry.
Nah, you're good.
And yeah, that was Isidore again. Tremendous series from him. Tremendous series from Black Army. We are going to be now joined by I believe Ride Dog of Timber's Army. We're going to get Timber's Army's perspective on the series and just the season that they had. We can go ahead and drag him in here. That would be great. Again, Isidore,
I just want to say my fault. I meant to post a link to Isidore's channel, and I accidentally linked my own channel. Don't follow me. Do not follow me. I don't even stream.
No one follow him, please.
Do not follow me. Look for the link that's about to come in chat right now, because that's the link that I meant to put. I'm so used to like Rydog.
And here we go. Rydog joining us now from Timber's Army. Rydog, obviously not the result that you guys would have wanted. How are you feeling, man? How's the team feeling?
I don't know, man. I know I said yesterday that we would be all right with just the top 3, but honestly, I'm not. I'm pretty frustrated. I really thought I could bounce back a little bit after yesterday, and it really didn't happen. I think it just came down to specific moments during the games, just mental lapses or just individual mistakes that cost us goals, and it's just like stuff like that. You can't make those mistakes. I think in the first series and in the upper bracket when we played them, we didn't make those mistakes, and so they weren't able to be capitalized on, and we made mistakes tonight, and they're a good enough team to capitalize them. So obviously I still think they deserve to win the series. They were easily the better team, but I think if we fix, or those individual mistakes have different outcomes, I think it's a lot closer of a series.
Well, yeah, you mentioned the individual mistakes. Man, the game 1 was like, it felt like, I think someone actually typed in chat when y'all scored y'all's first goal, y'all were like hitting the post, the crossbar, the post again, the crossbar again. Like it felt like y'all were just like peppering the net, but the ball was just not just going, it just wasn't going in, you know? Was that like frustrating for you guys? It felt like in that game, and then also in game 3, the OT game, there was a lot of like chances that you guys had that normally if you guys are taking that, this could be like a completely different series.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, that first game you mentioned, just crossbar post. Yeah, slim margins, right? It's just like real soccer. Like it's just a game of inches, and Rocket League's inches are pixels, right? And those are the things that if those don't bounce your way, they don't bounce your way. And tonight tonight they didn't. And yeah, like at the end of the day, it is what it is. And obviously, like I mentioned, they capitalized on those opportunities, right? They didn't panic, and they went down the field and scored and did the things they needed to do. So like I said, they deserve to win for sure. I just think it would have been maybe a little bit closer this series.
I wanna focus on the positives. This run from you guys has been absolutely incredible to watch. I mean, from the first game against this team to the next game and then the next game, and y'all just kept winning. Man, I'm very, very excited to see what the future holds for y'all, because you guys played, yes, we can say that Black Army was the better team, but you guys really had a lot of moments in there and a lot of spurts of being the better team as well. For example, most of game 1, the end of game 3, all of game 4, you guys really played your hearts out. And I just want to know what the future holds for this team. What's it going to look like for TA? Because y'all have shown that you can be a top 3 team. Y'all can ball out.
Yeah, I appreciate the kind words. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, really. I mean, I've gone back and forth in our head, or in my head rather, about the team and whether we want to go, pick up a 4th or 5th player. Like obviously, some of the teams, most of the teams actually have like 5, solid players and can just kind of rotate in. And I've like I said, I debated in my head if I want to do that, and I don't know. Nelly's been my longtime buddy, my best friend for a number of years now. We went to school together, and we just enjoy playing the game. And we met Piglet through this, and he's a joy to be around and a joy to play with. And so, sometimes I think I don't want to go find a 4th or 5th player just because we have a good time together and jump on and play and all that sort of stuff. So it's that balance, right, of being competitive in a league where you're trying to win and do all that stuff, but also just have some fun. And I think with this 3, we have fun. And pre-game we were warming up, we were just having a great time. And it's like those moments that you remember. It's not necessarily the wins and losses, but it's those fun moments that and the stupid conversations and all that stuff that you remember the most. So no, I mean, like I said, I don't know if I'd still go back and forth if I want to pick up a 4th and 5th just to make scheduling a little bit easier, or to give teams a different look. But yeah, for right now, I love our boys, and yeah, we're gonna stick through it.
Heck yeah, because y'all have just proven now that the ceiling is very, very high for this team. So yeah, it's a lot to think about.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just so hard after you lose like a series to like be positive about the season. But like, you guys for the first half of the season were like near the bottom of the table. You guys had a brilliant run to get into the playoffs, usurping the Kansas City Cauldron, the defending champions. You then have that crazy 7-game series where you guys come back from 3-1. You then beat the locals in
The
6
1
games.
seed.
Who
Was
were
it the 1 seed?
they were the 2 seed, but and then you play EM. The series was really close on an away server until the last game, and then in this series, you should have won game 1. Game 3 was an OT. Could have gone either way. Like, I know it's hard now, but I think for me, you guys had like a tremendous season, and so I don't know if you have any thoughts on any of that stuff, but that's just kind of how I feel about the way that y'all season went. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely positives to take from the season, right? You just retold the story very well. And like I said, you remember those moments, right? You remember the game 7s, right? The overtime winners. I have that comms clip from the Black Army series in the winners round run, of course. And so yeah, it's those moments. And so yeah, we had a great season, and ultimately I think maybe personally it came down to those first 2 series saying, who cares if we win or lose? Nobody has us. We'll just do what we do, and we ended up winning those. And I think it just got in my head of, wait, we actually might win this thing. And I think I just started to get maybe not feeling nervous, but just mentally nervous, and maybe just more pressure of like, hey, we gotta perform. And so yeah, I think that's what led to our downfall these last 2 days. At least for me personally, I can't speak for the rest of the guys, but yeah, I mean, top 3, right? If somebody told me after that first part of the season we'd be top 3, I'd say you're crazy. But yeah, like I said, I'm super stoked, and it's a good not a good finish to the season, but a good finish to the season, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Now is your time to shout out anybody you want. So the floor
Yeah.
is yours.
Yeah, shout out Black Army, man. They're a hell of a team. So obviously I'm torn, because as much as I love Luis and FCD, I also have grown a fan of the Black Army guys too. So I really don't know who I'm gonna root for the final. But I think it's gonna be a banger series for sure. I think we do have the two best teams in the league going into the final. So I think that bodes well. Obviously, shout out my team. They're incredible people. I love them to death. And shout out you guys for streaming. I know you guys had like 45 streams going on, so appreciate you guys, and appreciate everybody that came out to watch. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and y'all got one more cinema series coming up in the final. So yeah, should be a good one.
Yeah, and we
Much love
appreciate.
to you, Red Dog.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Right Dog, and again for all that you've done this season and commentating and helping us out as well. And so, yeah, again, we appreciate you, and yeah, I look forward to seeing Timbers Army next season come back even stronger. So, that's Right Dog from Timbers Army. Unfortunately, on the receiving end of a loss and their season coming to an end, but we do have the updated bracket. We can go ahead and throw it up there for you guys. That's our season 8 playoff right there on y'all's screens. We're down to the final series, the final two Warriors remaining. El Matador of FC Dallas, Black Army of LAFC. No bias aside, I agree. I think the two best teams are in the final. The two teams with the most talent are there.
No, I'm
And
kidding.
so,
No, I'm kidding.
no, yeah, I mean, like, no bias aside, I think these are the two best teams.
Yeah, I
They've
agree.
made it. And so I think it's going to be a cracking series. And as soon as we get that scheduled, we will have that in the announcements on the Discord. And I assume we'll put it out on our socials as well. So I'll give my initial thoughts. You asked me at the very beginning or at the very end of the series, my initial thoughts on the series. I mean, obviously, I back my team. Every time we haven't lost a series when we play our full lineup. So I'm going to back my team. But I think Black Army are, again, the best team that we will have played. We haven't played Black Army with our full roster yet. So we played Black Army in week 1 or 2. We lost in game 5 on I think it's a 1 goal with like 15 seconds left. That was a lineup with not our main roster. So I'm looking forward to battling those guys. It's going to be a tremendous series. Vex, Isidore, Martez, Eric Saunders, Sakugo, all those guys. It's going to be a great series. So looking forward to that, and hopefully we get that scheduled pretty soon. And yeah, I think this has been a cracking playoffs, and so I hope that the finals lives up to the rest of the playoffs that we've seen so far.
Crazy, bro thinks he's British. I think now is a good time, now that you have previewed the finals like that. Now, let's hand it over to Luis and or whoever wants to talk, i.e. Maz, if you want to talk. If you want to, whoever wants to explain the format of the final, because we are in double elim. So what advantage does the team from the upper bracket have, for those who are not aware?
Yeah, Maz, if you want to hop on in here, he's been behind the scenes running the streams. Let's give him a little bit of time, because he's been the one that's basically been holding us together this whole season. So Maz, you want to kind of explain to the stream what we got coming up here in the final?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for introducing me here. So, chat and stream, Basically, because this is a double elimination, you guys do know that if Black Army beats El Matador, there will be a second chance for El Matador to come back into this. So, quote unquote, bracket reset, basically. Now, what does that entail? Before I get to that, I want to highlight one important thing about this grand final. So, typically, when we talk about who gets the privilege of picking the server region, we typically talk about the higher seed. In this case, Black Army's the higher seed. They're the third seed play against the fifth seed in El Matador. However, given how the grand final is set up, and given the run that El Matador have been in, because they've made it to the grand final through that winner's bracket, they will host the grand final and they get to pick the server region despite being the lower seed. And that's because they're in the winner's bracket and they get the privilege to pick the region because of it. Now, if Black Army beats El Matador in our first best of 7 match, then El Matador effectively drops into the loser's bracket. And because of that, the server region selection is based on the team that is the higher seed. So, if Black Army beats El Matador, Black Army gets to pick their region for the second best of 7. So, let's walk through this real quick. El Matador, they typically play on US Central. That's their default server region. So the first best of 7 is going to be on US Central. If Black Army beats El Matador, Black Army will have the chance to play in US West for the second best of 7. So, it's really important that Black Army gets this win, and if they do, they can have the momentum on their side. However, El Matador, because they're made it up in the winners bracket, they have the privilege of playing in their preferred server region. So that's like an extra bit of reward for them for making it into the grand final via the winners bracket.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Maj. We appreciate you. Actually, you can stay on if you want, because actually let's real quick. Now that we've explained the grand final, let's talk a little bit about the constellation tournament, because we haven't mentioned that yet. So, huge shout outs to the KC Cauldron for beating the opponent that they should have beaten. And I was going to shout out a certain team from Pittsburgh for winning their series, but I really don't feel like it, because they have not embraced the chaos. And therefore, they are not deserving of my praise. Except for, I will say, shout out Bear Blitz, shout out Red 4, and shout out, I don't even think he played, but shout out Raisin Boy. Specifically those 3 players. Nobody else from that team gets a shout out.
Yeah, so Maz, what are we looking at here? I mean, what's kind of the obviously we have 1 series left. I think it's the KC LV series, but
Yeah,
I think we're
the
locked
best
in,
series.
correct? Or are we not locked in with these top 2? What's kind of the update on the Constellation Tournament?
Right, so for the Constellation Tournament, KC Cauldron, Emerald City Blue, and Emerald City Defiance,
I don't know if Maz is
as
here.
well
Hello,
as Los
Maz.
Verdes. Sorry,
You are muted,
I was
sir.
speaking,
You
you
get
guys
it.
couldn't hear me, but chat and the stream can hear me. So,
I see.
Oh, sorry.
Steel
sorry.
Army have played their last match today against Emerald City Blue, so their matches are done. The rest of the teams still have 1 more match to play. Now, once all of the teams play their matches, the top 2 make it to the grand final, as was explained earlier. When it comes to possible scenarios, as you guys can see, the gap between 3rd and 2nd now is 7 points, because a team can only get 4 points after a win. We have our top 2 sealed and set in place. It's going to be Steel Army versus KC Cauldron in the grand final. When it comes to which team gets the privilege to pick the server region, that's going to be the number 1 seed. So, Steel Army, they're done. KC Cauldron has the number 1 seed to play for. So, their match against Los Verdes is going to be for that, basically. Whilst EC Blue and EC Defiance, when they play against each other, it's just going to be for bragging rights.
So basically what I'm hearing is both of the top 2 teams stink, and they didn't embrace the chaos like they should have. Therefore, they
Kinda did.
stink.
If you remember, EC Defiance won in game 2.
Right,
They
but
did, yeah.
unfortunately the Cauldron did not embrace further chaos. They said, let's keep it to a minimum chaos. And frankly, I think that's weak. I think, I think you should embrace the chaos at all times, especially against Los Verdes. I think that more chaos should be embraced, and I think y'all should let us win, just to show that y'all embrace chaos. You know.
But yeah, again, I appreciate you, Maz, you explaining. So again, we will have Steel Army versus the Kansas City Cauldron in the finals. All that's left to be determined is will KC bump up into that? Or no, they're already in the top spot, correct? If the points are added up now. So yeah, the finals already determined.
No.
Both teams.
Unless Los Verdes sweeps the Cauldron, then that would leave the table as is. But if KC wins even one game, which I don't think they will, but unless they win one game, then they will, I believe, overtake Steel Army. They will for sure overtake them with 2 wins.
That is correct. Yeah.
Gotcha. So
That's the thing.
just seeding to play for
Exactly.
the final.
So this table has been updated with the results from today's matches. By the way.
Okay, cool, awesome. So, yeah, again, congratulations to Steel Army and Kansas City Cauldron for making it into the consolation final. I think those are the 2 best teams that didn't make the playoffs. So I think that's it's fitting that both of those teams ended up making the final. So that should be a banger matchup as well. Really looking forward to that. But I guess all that's left is to schedule the final and to schedule both finals really, and kind of see when that will happen. Again, that'll be announced in the Discord, and I assume we'll be putting it on with the Twitter account as well. So, is there anything else that we're missing, chat? Palos, Maz, anything else we're missing?
I don't believe so. I do
we'll go ahead
not
and wrap it
believe
up right
so.
now. We're pretty much done, I think.
Beautiful. This is glorious because I have to pee, and I've had to for the last like 2 hours.
Yeah, 'cause
So-
you've been cooking nothing, buddy.
Nah, I've been cooking everything. I've been boiling water and I've been drinking it because I'm on fire right now. Anyways, that's gonna do it for tonight's stream. Thank you guys so much, and I want to shout out Kiwi from El Matador for streaming the other game. Kiwi, I believe you are server muted for some reason. So, if you would like to come in, say what's up. If whoever has muted you would like to give you privileges to speak, that would be sick. So that way you can say what's up. And yeah, huge shouts to you for streaming the KC Cauldron EC Defiance game.
I'm in the middle of a Rocket League game, so that'll have to be somebody else. But yeah, again, Kiwi helped us stream. So the little stream that you saw on your screen, and when we went over to the other series, that was Kiwi doing his thing. So we really appreciate him. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up, guys. Appreciate y'all being here, chat. Appreciate y'all being here. Timbers Army, their season comes to an end, but Black Army, congratulations. You guys will be in the grand final, and we look forward to seeing you then. And until then, guys, take care. Have a good one.
Adios.